Shatterline is a fairly new free-to-play FPS game with a roguelike co-op mode. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it out. In this video, I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks that my buddy and I learned over the past 200 hours of playtime combined. This video is going to be in two different parts, PvP and PvE, and this video is all about the PvP. First off, let's look at the operatives or characters you can play. In TDM, Malva is by far the best character, being able to heal all her allies as well as herself in the middle of combat, while having a little battle drone doing 50 damage per hit, and her ult isn't the best for TDM, but it's good for holding a place down or buying a few extra seconds during a fight. Orbit is the second best character for TDM purely because of his dash ability. While he has a recon drone that flies around wherever your crosshair is placed, and a bead grenade that is good at cleaning up kills or opening up a gunfight, his best ability is his dash. Just because you can dash up to almost all places that recons can climb up to, as well as you can dash through enemies to damage or kill them, or just dash to throw off their aim. He also has an ultimate which can kill people within a radius around him and give him some time of super armor, making it very hard to kill him. Next is Brissa. She really is only good because of her ultimate. Yeah, her invisibility is nice, but it's pretty easy to still see her, as well as her glass mine and shock stick aren't that good, but her ult allows her to kill anyone in one shot, even if it's an orbit in his ult. Kite is next in the list because he is an amazing ult similar to Brissa's, but slightly worse. He also has his remote mine that is very good at surprising people and killing him. His walls are good for climbing to get to weird off angles or walling off a flank, but sadly that's really all he's got going for him. Mongoose is a weird one. He's a very generic soldier, but it kind of stands out a bit in this game. His frag grenades are very good, but slow to recharge, while his smoke grenades are more of an annoyance than they are useful, and his ult isn't that good. But you can get a lot of kills if you use it right. The best part of his kit though is his little dash. It's perfect mid-gunfight to make them miss a couple of shots, netting you a pretty free kill, and it recharges pretty fast. Strix is sadly not that great. While her minigun can kill a lot of people really quickly, it's also really easy to die while using it. As well as her red bomb grenade is decent for denying a route, but it's pretty easy to shoot out the scores, so it seems like it was never even thrown. And her walls are just kind of there. It's easy to head glitch on them, but most of the times you're just going to get head tapped off of it. And finally, all the way down in D tier, we have Pill and Ram. Pill is kind of just bad. His drone, while being nice and sometimes helpful, often just revives you right next to the enemy that just killed you, so they can kill you again. And his freeze grenade is just kind of bad in PvP. It's hard to hit, and when it does, it's okay, but it's better to just shoot them. His ult is decent, but you can get killed out of it so easily. And Ram, the only good thing about him is his ult. It's pretty fun to fly around and pick up a kill or two, but his tomahawks are just bad, and his electric pushing thing is fun to mess with and throw boxes at people, but it's not that good at killing people. But at least he has Exo Run and Exo Kick. Now let's talk about Escort. The best characters are still Orbit and Malva. This is because Malva's ult is crazy good to push the point and defend with while constantly being healed. As well as Orbit, this being the second best because he can dash onto the wagon, activate his ult, and kill most people on the point, as well as stand in the Malva ult to become almost immortal. Kite is up next on the chopping block, and his ult is good, as well as his mine to kill anybody on the wagon, and his walls are perfect for walling off flanks and funneling all of the enemies down the main path. The only reason Ram is so high on this list is because he's the best character to get that last little touch on the wagon to get the next checkpoint. With his ult, he can fly in and kill anybody anchoring the wagon to capture that checkpoint that you need. Now in B tier, Strix is good for walling off flanks and holding people off with her minigun, while Mongoose is good for throwing grenades at the wagon to kill anybody on it and throwing smokes at the wagon to push it a bit easier. While Brissa is sitting in the background typically sniping people and popping her ult to kill anybody else that has already ulted. Pill is still the worst character because his revive drone is still kind of bad in this mode, and his freeze grenade is almost worse in Escort than it is in TDM. While his ult is decent, he's still by far the worst character. Now let's talk about the guns in PvP. I've only rated the guns my buddy and I have used. The first S tier gun is the Zenith or AK. While it has a bit of recoil, it absolutely melts people. While the Pre-Sarm and its one-tapping capabilities is a close second. The U-22 revolver is very good for one-tapping people and cleaning up kills with just a single bullet. And the shotgun pistol is last in S tier because it's crazy good at killing people that are super up close, but doesn't really have any other versatility. In A tier, we have the Impala sniper rifle, capable of one-tapping from far ranges, as well as slowing you down if you hit the body. Next is the Black Falcon shotgun, that is very good in the hands of somebody like an Orbit or somebody who's pushing a lot, but other than that, it doesn't have very much range. After that, we have the Pacifier, which is kind of just a rifle that works well in most situations. Then the Fire Spray, or Vector, is just a crazy fast shooting SMG that the only downside is the mag size and its little range. Right behind that is the Draken. This gun is very good at being a typical SMG. It just needs a bigger magazine and some more range. Next is the MP5. It does crazy good damage if you're close, but it's very hard to use this thing because it's got quite a bit of recoil. And if they're far away, it's unlikely that you're going to get them. Lastly, the TacTech and the Springer. The TacTech is a good old reliable shotgun, while the Springer is kind of just a better Earl pistol. Now in B tier, we have the A3 or AUG. This thing does wonders, but sadly, it's a burst gun. Behind that is the TWD Extreme. capable of one-shotting to the upper chest, but it's kind of unreliable. You're better off using just an Impala. Next is one of my buddy's favorite guns, the XM40. This thing has very little recoil with good range, but it doesn't do the best damage. After that, we have the starting pistol, the Earl. This gun is really good at being the starting pistol. No real complaints besides the fact that it's just a pistol. Lastly, the A1 and the Reaper. The A1 is just a worse version of the other SMGs, but it can still hold its own if you're up close. But it's got pretty bad recoil. The Reaper, on the other hand, can one-shot to the upper body, just like the TWD. The downside is this thing is slow and painful to use. And the last gun is the P90, or the Tornado. It's the tier 5 SMG that just kind of sucks. It shoots kind of slow, it doesn't do very much damage. The only real plus side to this thing is it's got a giant mag and reloads quickly. Lastly, let's close off this video with some cool tricks that can help you in your upcoming games.
Just using pistol now.
I'm behind him. I got him at the flank.
I don't know.
I just teleported up to the bristle and got her! And the, and the kite! Oh, I got somebody on flank. He just ram ulted flank. He died. He got him.
You are finished. Kill.
All units to me.
Milestone reached. Keep it up, team.
Track deployed. Loading. I'm gonna make it rain.
If you watched all the way to the end and you learned a few things, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I appreciate you guys watching. Part 2 will be out in a few days. Thank you again.